record, yeah, they're all there.
Because I'm kind of like Kim. When I moved in, I had no idea there was a homeowners thing. We had already moved in, and here comes a book to my house, and I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything. I had lived 30 years somewhere else without homeowner stuff, and it was like, oh, okay.
When they were talking about like for the voting and stuff, and I do understand, I mean, you can't email out to 111 lot owners and then have them all email them back or call them back and keep track. And, you know, somebody had said something about, you know, the software that was needed. There is actually free software. It's on surveymonkey.com. You can go on there. You can actually put a link on the homepage of the website to take the homeowner to the survey, and they would be able to vote yes or no to whatever you have. It tallies it all up for you.
I think that what's been said tonight, I think some good ideas about
But that won't cost anything.
getting some of the issues out for the homeowners. I think if we, we're not opposed to doing that. It's just been that we're so short-handed, and there's only been so much time, and you know, I mean, it's a volunteer position, and it's been pretty overwhelming, you know, with everything that's been going on. So
the only reason you have a board now is just by default.
yeah,
You have a board, you know, they said everybody resigned, okay? And they said, we don't have no board, we need 3 directors. So she didn't know what she was getting into, and she said, I'll be president. And I said, well, you know, and David and one other person said, oh, and if they hadn't volunteered there, we wouldn't have a board, we wouldn't have a homeowner position.
but now we have people, it seems, that are beating the door down to help us, so all of the volunteers will be more than happy to put your work.
I have another suggestion. Some of the other people voiced their own. All these lawsuits that we have, I think we just need to disband that. People get along. The ones that owe their dues, they need to pay their dues.
Yes.
Be done with it. The penalties for it, poof them away.
Gone.
Pay your dues and
Start fresh.
Start back.
Standing.
All this,
We'll offer it again.
yeah, all this back and forth, accusing this, oh, you're stalking, oh, you're doing this.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't want to hear
that
about
needs
it.
to go, that's what keeps me away from these meetings.
Let's go.
I want to hear about positive things. I want to hear about
Things we
things
need
that,
to do.
Well,
Right.
unfortunately, I don't know, I mean, I can discuss the lawsuit if you like.
Yeah,
I think
we heard it.
No, we don't need to discuss it. We need to drop it.
Right. It's just like,
well, we agree that,
yeah, just agree to just amend, just get rid of it.
Awful is to pay our dues. But they have done some illegal things as far as the way that they're imposing the new rules and things.Ey're not having a quorum. They're not putting things out to vote properly. That's what we want. We just want a proper thing. Even the dues. Look, $100 doesn't mean shit to me. I spend $100 on lunch. Look, it's not the money. Nobody likes to be bullied, Denise. You know, look. Why don't you work something out with us?
one lawsuit. The other lawsuit, we still have to proceed because a lot of that is tied to the first lawsuit. So
it's not.
We need to grow up, be adults about this. Lives are too precious. You know, as we all know, we don't want to bring it up what happened, you know, earlier. I mean, our lives can change like this. We don't know.
Okay, we've had quite a lot of discussion. I'm going to have to put a stop to it now, just so I can get through the rest of my presentation, and if we have any time at the end, we'll continue, okay? Peggy's not here, but I wanted to give special thanks to Peggy Goon. A lot of you people don't know her, but she prepares the welcome wagon gifts, which I've already described, and she's willing to plan any social events that people might want to have in the subdivision. We did have an Easter egg hunt, which turned out great. We've tried to have a couple of other things, and there's been so much hostility in the subdivision that I think people have been reluctant to participate in neighborhood events. But we've had people suggest that we have like a jambalaya cook-off, a fishing day, maybe a tournament. We've had lots of
did back in the day sometime.
Yes, we've had lots of suggestions. So for lots
Used
of
to do it all the time.
events,
Most of us still do.
And we have, I mean, enjoy it. I don't know how many of you came to the Easter egg hunt, but it was great. We had a whole bunch of people came out and had a great time. So I would like to see more of that happening.
And we have a great subdivision.
Yeah,
We
we
really do. We do.
The people who live here are wonderful. Anyway, I wanted to give special thanks to Peggy Moon for sticking with us through all this and being willing to organize some events. We've also had another member volunteer to organize an event, which it sounded like a lot of fun, but then we had a neighborhood tragedy and it's kind of been put on hold, but we're going to be looking at that maybe for the spring. Hopefully we'll get this event together. It'll be lots of fun for everybody. I will send it out in a newsletter and request comments and participation so everybody can get involved. I want to thank Mike Tank, who I don't see him here, but he takes great care of our grounds and landscaping. He also maintains any vacant or abandoned property. So as you all notice when you drive through our subdivision, there may be houses that are vacant and abandoned that you don't even notice because he takes such good care of maintaining the ones that don't get maintained by the owners. I have a huge debt of gratitude to our attorney Jeff Cody, who is also a member. He's representing us in defense of the Tugwell litigation, and he's been great.
Is it just the Tugwell litigation, or is it Tugwell, Damari, Pendarvis, Tabor?
I stand corrected. It is Tugwell,
Thank you.
Damari, Pendarvis, and Tabor litigation, and he, as a lot of you don't know, Jeff is a member. He lives in the subdivision too. Clifford Burns, who's done a great job on our collections, and a special mention of thanks to my husband. He kind of goes around the subdivision and makes little repairs. He replaces light bulbs and floodlights in the entrance and tightens up the street signs when they're hanging there and come loose. So if any of you see any little things around the subdivision that need fixing and we haven't seen it, please email us and let us know, and he'll just do that. He just does these things. No charge, he just materials. Our biggest project this year was the repairing the damage at the entrance that was done by the drunk driver. Mike Tank did a great makeover of our entrance, and he's getting ready now to plant some annuals that are going to be really pretty for the spring. So he'll be putting those in the next couple of weeks. He's hurt his back, so we had to delay putting in the new flowers. But he has remulched out there, and we have a fall decoration. And I want to thank my husband for that because I couldn't
He
put
did
it
all
in
the job, whoever did that.
Yeah, my husband and I did that, but I couldn't have done it without him. He really helped. And I thought that cheered everything up a little bit. The email network is working great. We've had so many lost pets reunited with their owners. We've been able to notify people when, I think I sent out a notice of some free roofing materials that were available for people that had defective shingles. If we're ever notified of any problem like criminal activities in the area, I can shoot out an email to everybody and everybody gets it right away. So, and if there's anything that anybody needs to be put out or would like to be put out, if you have even a private business that you're operating that you would like people to be aware of, I don't mind, if you send me something or you have a flyer, you have something that you need to sell. I think people have had, where they've had to dig up some sod and, they let me know and I put it out to everybody. If anybody needs sod, they can go get it first come, first served. So if there's anything, I don't mind doing that. Just let me know and I can email it out real quick. The website we talked about is being maintained and updated as well as I can do it. We had considered possibly getting a professionally done website at some point, but it's nothing that's being considered right now. We had just talked about it. Before we do anything, we will put it out in a newsletter or whatever our proposal might be and see what kind of response we get from everybody. We have almost 100% participation, by the way, in the email network. I think there are, I just picked up another one yesterday, there are maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 people who don't participate in the email network. But other than that, we have everybody covered, so it's a great way to communicate. Danny already talked about the washouts. The lake. Lake access signs have been promised to be donated, so it won't cost us anything. When we get the signs, we plan on having them installed. We're going to take the current lake rule signs that have been put into the water. We're going to have those at the same time reset above the water line so they don't get crooked and, they'll be set in concrete. But the lake access signs are going to be installed. Mr. Goodall kindly donated about an 8 or 10 foot corridor alongside his home for an extra lake access passage, and he said we could put a sign there as well. So we'll have 3 nice lake access clearly marked once we get our signs. As far as the lake, the water weeds in the lake this year did not exceed the approximate 30% that our advisors say is necessary to maintain a healthy fish population. So we have not introduced any grass carp. It's not been necessary to take any action as far as the water weeds because the coverage is about what it should be. The fountain is great at maintaining a minimum circulation needed to avoid a problem of algae growth. This year we had an abundant rainfall, and that really helped keep the algae problem down. The water's been pretty clear. We haven't had much of an algae problem this year. New business. Now, this is something y'all want to pay attention to because it has to do with the lake. We've been talking about this for some time, and we're still considering when the erosion control specialist from the federal government came out, he said the best thing we can do around the lake is to plant some cypress trees, and he mentioned a couple of other plants that would be great to put here and there to control erosion on the banks and to stabilize the banks. We haven't been having a problem with the banks lately because we've got several teenage boys in the neighborhood that we've been encouraging to shoot any nutrients they find. And they've been doing a great job. Every spring they go out and they find those nutrients and they eliminate them. So we have.
What are they shooting them with, if you don't mind me asking?
What do you what, a pellet rifle? Can you discharge a pellet rifle in a subdivision, officer?
I'm sorry?
Can you discharge a pellet rifle in a subdivision?
I don't think you're really allowed to do that.
Okay.
I don't know where they
It can
find the
be,
nutrients.
as it is a lethal weapon. They're killing animals with it.
Now, I don't know where they've been finding the nutrients. They haven't been around our lake. So there's a strip of woods outside the subdivision, and I believe that's where they're finding them because there haven't been any in the lake. Not that I know of. I haven't seen any, and we haven't had any more damage. So let's see here. Okay, the back lake area. Now, phase 1 was completed in 2011.
Attention library patrons, the library will be closing in approximately 30 minutes. Those of you on computers, please start finishing up your projects as we will be shutting the computers down in 10 minutes. If you need to arrange for a ride home, please do so at this time. Those of you who need to check out books or receive library cards, please make your selections and go to the circulation desk now. If you need help, please go to the information desk nearest you. The library will reopen tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you for your patronage and have a wonderful evening.
She sounds like the library lady, doesn't she?
I thought she was going to cry right there.
She just loves reading that much,
All
huh?
right, we have a half an hour, so I'm going to hurry and get finished here.
I think she was the back.
Phase 1 was completed in 2011. The worst erosion has been filled and graded, and it's all being maintained now by Mike Tank. It's free of weeds and underbrush, so everybody can walk and fish all the way around the lake. Now, phase 2 will need to be addressed at some point. The end of the back lake area is swampy and unsightly, and this is due to sedimentation violation and improper engineering of the drainage around the south end of the lake when the subdivision was built. The federal erosion control people, engineer came out